What? The movie's called Godzilla x Kong. Leave me be. Is it too early to say we're back yet? Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, the latest installment in the MonsterVerse franchise. It is so weird that I get to say that now. I remember way back in the day when Godzilla 2014 came out and I thought, all right, this is awesome. This is a cool kind of Americanized reboot of Godzilla, an origin story for the character yet again. We're not gonna see any more movies, and then bam! It is such a fantastic time to be a kaiju fan. And before I even remotely get started talking about the trailer itself, I gotta thank you guys for your reaction to my Gigabash video. That video is quickly approaching to be the second video on my channel to hit the 5-digit mark on view count, and that is just thank you from the bottom of my heart for your reaction to that video. And like I said, trust me, the kaiju content will not stop on this channel for sure. That video will be in a link in the description below. Please let me know what you thought about that video as well. Enough about the past, let's talk about the future. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire is coming out March 29th. It is swiftly approaching, and they decided to start up the marketing campaign with our first teaser trailer that did show off just a little bit. Of course, we got our first look at Scar King. We knew that the movie was going to feature an evolved form of Godzilla, and Godzilla and Kong were going to team up against a new big kaiju threat. Now with the trailer 2, we unfortunately are seeing a lot more of the movie than I wanted to. It's unfortunately the trend in Hollywood now, where we are just kind of getting the overview of the movie and kind of know how it's going to play out. But regardless, I think trailer 2 was actually massively important for this movie to explain where it's actually setting up its villains in particular. The trailer kicks off and Dr. Andrews from Godzilla vs. Kong gives us a monologue about the history of the Titans, but also makes it a very careful point to distinguish Godzilla as a Titan and Kong as something else. She refers to Kong and his species as great apes. Godzilla solos DBZ confirmed! We are told that Titans were the guardians of nature and great apes were the guardians of humans. That makes a lot of sense. If you saw Kong Skull Island, you will know that there were tribes of people that worshipped Kong and his species. All of this to say, this has a lot of implications for what Scar King is and for what his motivations are. Scar King, more than likely, most likely, being the most intelligent kaiju monster we have seen from the MonsterVerse, is more than likely seeking vengeance against humanity. Seeing his race as the superior race, he doesn't want to be worshipped, he wants to be the dominant species and the only species of the planet. You would just think that Scar King was just a, an evil Kong and that's it, right? I think it's just going to be very interesting to dive even further into what the Titans are in this world and how they have interacted with humanity for so long. The very first MonsterVerse movie, Godzilla 2014, did have implications that Titans have been around for a very long time. But in regards to what their relationship has been like with humanity, that has always been up in the air. I think this movie is finally going to set a much clearer picture on what the Titans have been doing on Earth, what they started as, what happened with their relationship with humanity, any sort of falling out that happened there, and then obviously to present day with Godzilla x Kong and what Godzilla and Kong are going to do about this new threat. Scar King is clearly going to be a highlight of the movie for me, because you can already tell that even for a kaiju, this guy has presence. He's leading an entire civilization of great apes, and you can tell that Kong is unfortunately on his own here in terms of maybe trying to convince the other great apes not to follow Scar King. But nah, Scar King whoops Kong's booty for sure in that first fight inside that lava pit, which will more than likely lead to Kong getting his augmentation. We'll talk about that in a second. But even still, I am a massive fan that the MonsterVerse is now pivoting to trying to add more original monsters to the MonsterVerse as opposed to solely relying on Godzilla nostalgia at this point. Yeah, King of the Monsters and Godzilla vs. Kong kinda, reached back into Godzilla's history to pluck some heavy hitters and some highlights for you. But now the MonsterVerse is gonna start to stand on its own two legs, and I think Scar King is a pretty good start. That and the other one, we'll talk about that. The other major thing that I wanted to talk about with this trailer was the implications of Godzilla's multiple forms in this movie. I was uncertain when I saw the original toy leaks that everyone saw, and saw that Godzilla may or may not have gone on a diet. But I am pleased to confirm Playmates does not know proportions at all, obviously. And the final rendition of the Godzilla model in this movie looks perfectly fine. I will miss my boy's little tum-tum, but that's besides the point. As I see this new evolved form more and more in these trailers, it's growing on me a lot. My favorite Godzilla design for a very long time was actually the OG Godzilla 2000. I liked the different take, I liked the red spines, I loved how spiky and pointy he looked. Always looked like a bona fide threat. Some other Godzilla renditions you could argue look pretty cute for a monster, but Millennium Goji? Peak cinema. So with this design clearly taking inspiration from Millennium Goji, I'm a happy Godzilla fan, what can I say? It looks vicious, it looks mean. I just hope that it doesn't take forever for us to get to that point, and I do hope that Godzilla doesn't spend half the movie in hibernation just to get to that final form. But this trailer did reveal that Godzilla does in fact spend a portion of the movie, at least, not in that final form and actually doing normal Godzilla things. We can clearly see that Godzilla's body is now reacting in certain ways that we have not seen before. This other form that people have noticed is how he is entirely glowy and blue in a way that he hasn't been in the past. Normally it's like his eyes and the spines that glow blue, but now we've got Godzilla glowing all blue, as if it's the burning form, but just his normal atomicness. It's interesting, and it has implications for the plot. Potentially, Godzilla has now gotten to a point where he's having difficulty regulating the radiation in his body, so he may need to actually go into some sort of hibernation to evolve his body to better regulate his radiation. This could mean that Monsterverse Godzilla is potentially stronger than Heisei Godzilla in a way, because Heisei Godzilla just got a little too hot and said, peace! Nah, but in all seriousness, those shots in particular of this weird glowy Godzilla, those shots have me very interested for how Godzilla's gonna go from point A to point B. And we of course gotta talk about my main man, Kong. Honestly, when it comes to the West, it does feel like Godzilla takes the cake for popularity over Kong, so I'm actually kind of happy that Kong has a healthy amount of screen time in this movie, almost feeling like the main character. No matter which side you were on back in the Godzilla vs. Kong days, I think we can all agree, Kong is a little underrated. It's funny because he is the one Western original kaiju that has the most popularity, and yet Godzilla still has a bigger following in the West. It's weird how that plays out. But I think the Monsterverse recognizes the potential in Kong and the cool things you can do with the character, and decided to give him the Infinity Gauntlet. It's reminiscent of that Mecha Strike figure line from Godzilla vs. Kong, where they could transform and get all these weird guns and mechanical parts. One of the producers saw that toy line and said, son of a bitch, why didn't we do that? So, happy to see them getting creative with Kong and just kind of giving him new weapons and random stuff to just hit things with. And I would be lying if I said that Mega Beast Gauntlet punch on the building towards the end of the trailer. Finally, I gotta talk about the elephant in the room, and that is the giant ice iguana in the room, I guess. Yes, if you are as chronically online as myself, you already know who this big bad's gonna be. It is a new original kaiju by the name of Shimo. Spoiler warning, if you are not as chronically online as myself or general audiences, please avert your eyes and, like and subscribe, all that mess. Thank you so much for stopping by. Kong had to have an evil counterpart in this movie, and it feels as though we have our evil Godzilla counterpart. Shimo in many of the toy leaks has been rumored to be this epic, big, first kaiju titan, first of its kind in the world that actually kicked off the Ice Age for humanity, but for whatever reason has just been dormant for X amount of years, and now Scar King has brought Shimo into the fray to, what else? Destroy the world. While we only get a glimpse of Shimo's eyes in terms of directly looking at the monster, we actually have some other shots of Shimo in the trailer. If you keep your eagle eye out, you can see this giant massive white shooting out the ice beam or fighting Godzilla in this other shot. I think just based on Shimo's size alone, seeing Shimo fight Godzilla is gonna be a sight to behold. It's been a while since Godzilla has punched above his weight, and I think Shimo's gonna have a pretty fun fight, just saying. That, and I guess Shimo is a girl, as confirmed on Twitter. DeviantArt, do your thing. Nah, but either way, I think Shimo is a actually pretty cool design, and it's unfortunate that we got Shimo's design leaked from all the toy leaks and all that stuff, so we know who our big bad 4 kaiju of the movie are and who's going to be smacking heads with who. I still do not have an answer for whose crab leg that was in the very first trailer. You remember that one shot? It looks like they might be in Rome or Egypt still, and it's just like it's just a pointy ass leg. I don't know if that could be Scar King's whip or something, but there's something hidden there. There's something. That and the 5th and final potential monster of the movie, aside from the other great apes, we might see Mothra make a comeback. We can tell that the main human plot of the movie is going to be concerning Gia, the girl from Godzilla vs. Kong, who had a very clear, close relationship with Kong. We can see that she's actually going to school and is also suffering from visions of the future. In these visions, she's of course seeing Scar King and Shimo and all of this destruction, but she reveals that she's having these visions, and that's most likely what leads the human gang on to investigating just what the heck's going on the Titan side of the world, which leads them to Hollow Earth, because why wouldn't it lead them to Hollow Earth? And we see that Gia is amidst this entire clan of people in Hollow Earth. Where they've been all this time while humanity's been chilling on the ceiling? Who knows? But I can very clearly see the inspiration in Gia and this clan of people underneath Earth, and the clan of people that worshipped Mothra in all of her renditions. Typically, the scions of Mothra, I will call them, are usually represented by twins. These twins herald Mothra's return, tell the human protagonists where Mothra is or when Mothra will be arriving, and they are very typically associated with an entire tribe of people that worship Mothra. I could just be looking at that eye reflection a little too closely, but I want to believe Mothra staring right back. That's my hope anyway. Who knows? We'll have to see the movie to make sure. Looking at this trailer holistically and just seeing the vibe that they are setting off, they don't have to like each other, they just have to work together. The Monsterverse has finally gone full tilt in a fantastic way. I mentioned this in my Godzilla -1 review, but I think that we can live in a world where the Japanese Godzilla films are serious period pieces, and the American films can lean into the Hollywood ridiculousness and just be live-action cartoons at this point. I think now that we have lived with superhero movies as the main stars for so long, we can finally get a little ridiculous with other types of genres of movies. And I think it might finally be the time that monster movies make the comeback. And I have a feeling that Godzilla x Kong may actually kick off a wave of inspiration in Hollywood where we move slightly away from comic book heroes. We're never really going to truly let them go. Godzilla x Kong could be the start of something truly beautiful where Hollywood is no longer afraid of Eastern franchises that they wish to adapt, and we could potentially finally see more westernized reboots of some of our favorite Eastern franchises, stuff like maybe Kamen Rider, Ultraman, or so on. Or, at the very least, I would love to see more localization, Kamen Rider, but I'm getting too far ahead of myself. Regardless, I will be in the theater day 1 to check out Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. This trailer is all that I needed to know about the movie. If they release any more trailers or teasers at this point, I am steering clear away. I need to be in the seat, ready to absorb my kaiju cinema as raw as possible. At this point, I'd actually like to say thank you so much for watching today's video. If you want more Godzilla x Kong coverage, I encourage you to like and subscribe, show the algorithm some love, and comment down below and let me know what your favorite part of the Godzilla x Kong trailer was. Now, I know you're looking at the runtime video and saying, all night, WTF? I'm going to use this segment of the video as a brief checkpoint. I wanted to talk about Godzilla x Kong, but I also wanted to talk about something else today in regards to the future of this channel. So if you just wanted to stick around for my thoughts, you can hop off now. Bye-bye. I'll see you later. For the rest of you, we gotta talk. I promise I'm not quitting. I'm not... There's nothing wrong at all. I just wanted to update anyone and everyone that may remotely give a crap about my channel, where I am at and where my next video is going. Up to this point, I have tried to ramp up my video production for 2024, and that is still my goal. That's why I'm making this video, that's why I'm uploading it when I'm uploading it. But at the same time, I want to be cognizant of the type of content that I am covering versus what may be new and trendy. I was writing a Pal World video to go over the entirety of Pal World, all of the ins and outs, talk about the controversies, talk about all the things surrounding it. and I hit a creative bump. I don't personally feel like I can add more to the Pal World conversation personally. What I can tell you right now is it's a good game. It's a good game. You should check it out. The developers have confirmed that AI was not used in the development of the game, so get that nonsense out of your heads. The game's greatest sin is that some of its designs are way too close to Pokemon, and that's a damn shame because there are other designs that are pretty damn dope. But all in all, the gameplay loop is addictive. It does a lot of quality of life improvements to the survival game formula. It's a great time, and it's $30. Go buy it, go check it out. I also wanted to talk about another Pokemon-like known as Cassette Beasts, also a fantastic game. I could potentially make an entire video on that game, but again, I want to be mindful of what I am spending my time making content on. These more news coverage-oriented videos and off-the-cuff reviews of either movies or trailers or whatever are much more easy for me to produce in the short term, but it has been a hot minute since we've had a scripted all-night video. I have been cooking up my next idea for a very long time. This video is something that I have wanted to make ever since I made a YouTube channel. Hell, ever since I remotely considered making YouTube videos like a decade ago at this point, I've had this video idea in the back of my mind. And while, yes, I do want to make more videos in 2024, trust me, the videos aren't necessarily going to slow down from here. But this next video, I have been cooking in my mind for ages now. This video covers a wide range of topics and a series of games that have meant a lot to me from both growing up and they still mean a lot to me now. But they all share a common theme that I've always wanted to explore in my usual video essay format. But because of the amount of games that I am covering and the pure size of the legacy of these games, this video is going to take me some extra time to complete. In the meantime, I'll do my best to pump out these quick news coverage videos so that way you guys know what I'm interested in and the things that I am interested in seeing. I absolutely will be reviewing Godzilla X Kong as soon as that baby comes out. But either way, I just want to let you know where I am at. I am trying my best to focus on both work and home life, while also balancing squeezing out this video and really making sure that I am happy with the end result. The thing about the Pal World video that prevented me from moving forward with it was, yes, I was passionate about the topic, but creatively, I was just not interested in seeing that to completion. I don't know, there was something preventing me from wanting to finish that video because I didn't think that it made sense for me to cover that. I don't know, it feels like a weird philosophical way to go about it, and who knows, at the end of the day, I could have just been lazy and didn't want to finish it. But aside from that, I want to shift my focus to, yes, pumping out more content and more relevant content to things that are happening in the world, but of course I always want to cover the things that I enjoy the most, and this next video I wanted to use as a celebration of the 1-year anniversary of this channel. YouTube has been a passion that has been sneaking in the back of my mind for the longest time, and the fact that I have finally gotten to explore it, and so many of you have enjoyed it, shared your thoughts with me, and joined me in these lovely conversations about the things that I enjoy. She just let herself in, don't mind her. YouTube has always been a passion of mine. Content creation has always been something that I prevented myself from stepping forward into the limelight and wanting to do stuff like this on this platform. I was always fearful of it because I didn't know how well I could actually make it work. But by the reaction of some of my videos, it is clear to me that you guys enjoy what I do, and I am immensely thankful for that. At the end of the day, I want to do this for fun. I want to do this to be as creative and interesting as possible. I think I'm funny sometimes, and I think you guys may think I'm funny, so thanks for that. But making these videos is a blast, and making videos about stuff that I give a shit about is even better. Again, I enjoy Pal World. I love Cassette Beasts. I don't know if I want to dedicate a whole video to those things. What I will dedicate an entire video that may or may not end up being an hour long, we will have to see, is a topic that I hold near and dear to my heart with 3 games that I don't think get talked about enough. What are these games? What am I building up to? And just what the heck is this video gonna be? For that, you might just have to subscribe and stick around for more. Yeah, I gotcha. I'll leave you guys with a tease of things to come, but as always, don't forget to like, show the algorithm some love, subscribe for more content, and as always, I have been your host all night, and do not forget to stay loved, keep loving, and have a wonderful night.